Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. In this video we're going to take a look at the Marvel Select from Diamond Select Toys Carnage figure. And I have to say a huge thank you to Diamond Select Toys for sending this guy my way. He is an absolute monster of a figure and he just looks incredible. So big thank you to Diamond Select Toys for sending them over. Do check out their website, which I'll put in the description of this video, for all of your Marvel Select needs. So I just want to spend a little bit of time just showing you the packaging, because the packaging on the Marvel Select figures is always top notch. It shows you all of the stuff that's included in the box, and it's got a nice big open window at the front so you can see them all as well. And as you can see, here's the various different looks. Now there's a Disney logo on this box and it is branded up at 2020, so I believe that you can still get him in some Disney stores and at other retailers. So out of the box, what do you have? We've got a whole selection of these Symbiote kind of tendril bits that have a little plug on the end of them, so you can just pop them into the different sockets that are around the figure. You've got this neck piece as well that goes over his neck. You've got a handful of different heads. You've got this kind of grunty looking one. I'm not sure which comic book that's from. You've also got this Cletus Cassidy transformation head, which is just horrific. It just looks like something out of Nightmares, where it's coming up from the bottom. And you've got this elongated neck and kind of oversized head as well, which is really cool. You've got two bladed hands. Anybody that knows who Carnage is knows that he likes to turn his hands into weapons and use them. And you've also got this epic back piece with all these different sharp tendrils coming out of it. They're all articulated, but these two at the top have a joint in them, so you can actually get some better angles with them. So let's go through the figure and try everything on. Now all the articulation is all the standard points of articulation you've come to expect with these figures. This is the same buck that they used previously on the Carnage figure and as well on the Venom figures. So it's got the various different points of articulation in the hip there. It's got kind of double knee, it's got an ankle rock, it's got one point of articulation in the elbow. You can move the chest around and you can move the head as well, that's on a ball joint. So you can get him into some really cool poses, and the extra articulation in the kind of pelvic area does allow for him to get into some cool crouches and some Carnage-esque poses. So I'm just going to put him back into like a vanilla pose just so that we can have a look at the figure and the accessories. Now, as I said, these tendrils do pop into various different places, and most of the plugs here are on the back with one on the shoulder. So just while I'm doing that, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the paintwork on the figure. The paintwork is really well done. Something that works really well with this figure is because of the blacks and reds, you can't see the pins and you can't see the joints, so it's got a real seamless look to it, even though it has got a lot of articulation and a lot of pins. These little tendril bits add an extra kind of dimension for the figure and just sort of change his shape. As you can see from the front here, you can see them all coming out, and it gives you a whole variety of options depending on how you want to put them, which angle you want to put them in, etc. It's a really nice touch. But I'm going to take them out for the time being because I want to show you the other pieces as well. Let's just swap the head over. So I put the neck piece on just like that. It just fits in. It only fits on one way, so there's no way of putting this on wrong. And I use the Cletus Cassidy head because it makes an extension of that transformation. It looks like the symbiote's coming up out of his shoulders and over his face. And that's horrific looking, in a good way, like a positive horrific. It looks very reminiscent of what you come to expect from Carnage. It's that kind of borderline horror, so that's a really nice head, but not one I would display the figure with. This head, as I said, it was probably my least favourite out of all of the heads, but I'm sure that it was used in one comic somewhere, so I'm going to have to locate where this head is from. If you do know, then please do let me know in the comments below, and it will save me looking through a handful of back issues. But I don't recognise this head, and I have read quite a bit of Carnage, so if you know where it's from, let me know. And then you've got this elongated head as well, which is just brilliant. It just turns the figure into a completely different figure and looks very Carnage-esque, so I like that one a lot. That's definitely one of my favourites. One other really cool thing about this figure is the hands. So there's the articulation in the wrists, and the wrists do twist as well, and they've got these big knife pieces coming out. Let's just get a closer look at those. And as you can see, the detail on the sculpting is just second to none. They've not missed an inch of this figure. And these hands they're vicious looking. They're very Carnage-esque. So you pop them out and then you lose the articulation, unfortunately. But you can pop these bladed hands in, and you can still kind of twist them around a little bit, but you lose the forward backwards articulation because that's actually part of the hand. But these blades are very reminiscent of what Carnage looks like. And Venom, or was it Venom? Or was it? No, it was Riot, wasn't it? In the film, did something very similar. Now while we're talking about the Venom film, one thing I will say is this particular sculpt in this particular size does work very well and does scale very well as a movie version of Carnage. Now, Marvel Select figures are notoriously bigger than the 6-inch line figures that the majority of other toy brands run, so this one stands at about 7.5 inches. So next to Spider-Man or next to a Venom Marvel Legends figure, for example, this would definitely scale well as the movie Carnage because he was a lot bigger. Now, let's have a look at this back piece because this is something else. Now, there's 4 pegs here, and I'm just going to skip forward just so you can see, but the tendrils go into this back piece as well, so you don't lose those by using this back piece, and it actually just adds to this whole kind of look. Very reminiscent again of Carnage from the movie, so this is definitely a good movie version of Carnage, and I think I'm going to do a separate video on that, so do stay tuned to my channel. But all in all, as far as a Carnage figure goes, this is phenomenal. So many options, so many accessories. If you haven't got a Carnage in your collection, I highly recommend picking this one up from Diamond Select Toys. And once again, thank you so much for sending it over, guys. Really do appreciate it. As you can see here, there's a little bit of articulation in these tendrils as well. They're on like ball rockers, so you can move them around. But there is just so much to unpack with this guy. He is going to be a lot of fun to photograph. He is easily a contender for one of my favourite figures of the year, and that is no exaggeration. He is brilliant. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. All support channel is very much appreciated, and do check out Diamond Select Toys to pick up your own version. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.